Hey everyone, my name's Trent Finnegan, back here with ScoBuff Sports. Today we got another episode of Buffs Film Room, where we will be looking at last week's CU vs USC game, where the Buffs lost 48-41 at Folsom Field. We're going to be looking at some good stuff, some bad stuff from last week, kind of see what happened. The Buffs got out to a very slow start, really rallied in that second half, made it a ball game. A lot of people thought that we are going to have another blowout on our hands like we saw at Oregon 2 weeks ago, but instead we got actually a really fun game down the stretch. The Buffs go at Arizona State this weekend on Saturday and hope to kind of get some momentum going again. You know, 2 straight losses, obviously 2 of the hardest teams are going to play on their schedule. But in order to make a bowl game, you got to keep winning games. So they're really going to need to rebuild some momentum. So we're going to be looking at some pass coverage stuff, some pass protection, little run stuff in the box. We got all sorts of stuff to look at, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first play I want to look at here is a run play from the Buffs. It's a familiar one. We've seen it before. We're going to get a wide toss to Dylan Edwards out here in the gun. But however, the Buffs, if they're looking to get their run game going this season, you know, we keep seeing it. They're trying, they're struggling. This week, they actually got it going, 100-plus yards on the ground for the first time this season. However, if you want to get it going, you got to run the ball smartly. Now, you look here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 USC players in the box against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got an even box. Just run up the middle. Somebody needs to be able to check to that, whether it's Sean Lewis, whether it's Shedeur Sanders. And instead, they stick with this toss play. We have 1, 2, 3 blockers against 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. It's just not a very... If you want to get the run game going, you got to be smart about it. It's not very plausible to run it where you have weaker numbers. So if we take a look here, toss comes, Mikey Harrison whiffs on this block, so that really makes the numbers even worse for the Buffs. While you see the middle, all you needed was a double team from the left guard onto the nose, up to the middle linebacker, and Dylan Edwards was going to break into the third level without getting touched. Instead, here he is, he's surrounded by 3 guys, and since Dylan Edwards is an absolute baller, makes a great play, gets 1 yard short of the first down. He should not have gotten 7 yards on that play because of the blocking, but great play by Edwards. If they want to get the ball going, like I'm saying, you got to look at where you have numbers and really attack that. Next play here, biggest play of the day for USC, and it really kind of set the tempo early for them. 3rd and 4, Buffs here, you get a stop, you get the ball back, only down 7. You need stops from your defense, which obviously haven't gotten a lot over the last 2 weeks. Now you see here they're lined up, they're really showing blitz over the line of scrimmage. You got a lot of hats on the line of scrimmage. Obviously it's a disguise. They're not going to blitz everybody because then there's too many lethal weapons on USC's offense to just bring the house every single play. However, here, only 3 players rush, and then you see here the middle guy who was rushing, it was actually the middle linebacker standing up because CU only had 2 down linemen. He steps up to spy, and then CU just gets no pressure. Defending Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams can run around, and then you see here Trevor Woods is just going to take a really poor angle on Tajay Washington. Free touchdown for him. Can't let that happen. So you see here Caleb Williams is going to catch the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Throws the ball. And now you see here too, 7 seconds obviously is way too much time to throw the ball. Where the touchdown happens on this play, as you see on the left side, the Buffs are in zone coverage, and you got Marion Cooper here on the far left side of your screen. He's here, obviously it's blurry to see. And then you got Tajay Washington is here, and he's going to kind of cut to the middle. Marion Cooper thinks he has help back here, but since the play is taking 7 seconds to develop, this USC receiver way out here is occupying Marion Cooper's help over the top. So then that way, that receiver ends up staying wide open because Cooper thinks he has help when he actually doesn't. He lets the guy run right by him. And obviously, Caleb Williams has way too much time. That guy's wide open. And then you see here on the right side of the screen, it looks like Trevor Woods, it doesn't just register in his head that Tajay Washington has the ball until now. And then he's way behind on this play. takes a poor angle, has to dive, free touchdown. Next thing I want to look at is the CU DBs, specifically Amari Cooper, not getting their hands on in the red zone. You saw it 2 weeks ago against Oregon on a 2-point conversion. They ran a slant. Cooper didn't get his hands on. It was wide open. It was too free. And you just can't let that happen. So here we're going to get a crossing route from USC. Anyone who watched the Colorado State game knows that crossing routes are CU's weaknesses. You got this guy on the near side is just going to come all the way across, clear out. Sorry, the mouse is glitching up a little bit. And then you're going to get play action and this tight end sticking in right here. So, and then it looks like the Buffs are in cover 1. I can't tell if it's a robber or just a standard cover 1. And what I mean by robber is that Trevor Woods, the roll down, would just play in a zone right here. But he's either in a robber and then this safety drops deep. But this guy gets blown up. You'll see this is his assignment. So it's kind of hard to tell if this is just standard cover 1 where everyone's got a man with one deep safety or if Woods is in a robber underneath. But anyways, you see, we're going to look at that bottom of the screen at Amari Cooper. Let it play. One little head fake to the outside. He's beat. He's way behind the ball. This guy's open for a touchdown. That's too easy of a pitch and catch for people on this offense. There's too many weapons on this USC offense. And you see here, right there, he's beat on the right side of the screen. Now here's the other thing about this play. Right here is when Caleb Williams sees him. Caleb Williams, if he really wants, he has an easier touchdown over this way. This guy's wide open. But he's already got his eyes locked here. He's coming here. He might have another touchdown in this back corner. This guy's going to keep coming across. So he's got a lot of options against man coverage here in the red zone. You just got to run better, more advanced coverages against guys like Caleb Williams, or they're just going to dice you up all day, which obviously he did to this Colorado Buffaloes defense. And then here, I just want to show one more example. It's Amari Cooper again, not getting his hands on. You see he's here at the bottom of the screen against Brendan Rice, one-on-one. It's 3rd and 4 too. As we saw later in the game, if you hold him to a field goal, kind of makes a difference, makes a big difference, and their kicker ended up missing one later on. Brendan Rice, he's just going to run a slant right here, but at the top of his route, he head fakes to the outside, and then he's wide open going in. And it's a lot harder, in Marion Cooper's defense, it's a lot harder to get hands on. You see Brendan Rice is off the ball here, where he's 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage instead of on the ball. But you still have to try your best in the red zone to disrupt timing, disrupt routes, because if you don't, with a guy like Brendan Rice, it's going to be way too easy. You see here, he's going to go slow, fakes outside, and then right here, Cooper is way far out of position. Williams sees it. He's got enough time to get that off. Easy touchdown. Now this next play I thought was huge for the Buffs because they have not been able to get a big pass rush at all this year. And that means defensive coordinator Charles Kelly, he's got to start mixing it up some ways. He's got to start disguising blitzes, bringing different blitzes, and that's what he did on this play. See, USC's kind of driving down a score again. They're already in plus territory. And what's going to happen here is the short side of the field, we got Amari Cooper again. I know I've said his name a lot today. He's been involved in a lot of stuff this past week. Now, he looks like, at the start of the play, he looked like he was in press man coverage, but instead he's going to disguise it, and he's just going to fly in here off the corner blitz. Woods is going to come over the top and take his responsibility. And now Caleb Williams never sees this coming. And it's interesting because it's a strong side, but play concepts to his left, never looking, boom. However, the thing about mixing it up is you can't mix it up too much against a guy like Caleb Williams. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. You can't keep running the same stuff over and over again against him because he's too good. He'll see it. He'll burn you. Now you see here, similar thing. This is Cormani McClain now. And he's going to come flying off this edge as soon as the ball snapped. However, USC's got a little RPO going. Lloyd's going to come in across the middle. This guard's going to pull up. This tackle's going to step down and seal the backside. And you'll see it's a very good block run concept, and they have somewhat of a lane here. But since Williams is now aware of this corner blitz coming from the weak side, Brendan Rice is just going to run a quick out, and that's going to force Trevor Woods to have to come over the top and make a tackle. And you'll see here, didn't exactly go well for Trevor Woods. Williams sees it, doesn't even get close to the mesh point, handing the ball off. He immediately decides, I'm going to throw this to Rice. He's got him here. Makes a man miss. Walks in, touchdown. Now next up, big thing I've been talking about is pass protection from the Buffs. And Shedeur Sanders not throwing the ball away, kind of taking some sacks. And we'll look here. This is a 3rd and 5 too in the second half. And in the second half, obviously, really needed every possession they could get back in that ball game. Now Shedeur, he's got a concept to his right where this guy in the middle, number 2, is going to run deep. This guy, number 1, you can't see him on your screen. He's running a hitch, and then Mikey Harrison's running an out. And then you just have a hitch on the backside. He's not even looking at the backside, but this concept on the right is totally blanketed, and he's got nowhere to go. However, he does have room to expand in the pocket. You see he's got a little bit of room to step up and possibly extend this play, and we saw what he did with his legs this past week. He really showcased that he can run the ball when necessary. If he steps up in this pocket, it gives his receivers a chance to kind of step up, make a play, but instead he kind of does this thing where he drifts off back to the right and puts himself in no man's land. Now I know this pocket doesn't look great, but there is something here where he'll be able to step up, and we got 3-on-2 blockers up front where he could possibly then either break right or left depending on how this develops. I have no idea how this would have developed if he did it, but that's the thing. He's not doing it. Instead, rolls out, and he's already grabbed. 3rd and 5. Buffs got to punt it after this. So, like I said, maybe moving forward, we'll see more stepping up, because I feel like week after week after week, we see Shedeur Sanders stepping back in the pocket, then rolling out, and then he's stuck, and then he doesn't throw it away, and then he gets sacked, and it's just too many negative plays for the Buffs. So, we'll see how that goes next week at Arizona State. Now, this next play, very fun stuff from Sean Lewis. I always love seeing what he can cook up every single week because he always finds something fun. Now, you see the situation. This is your last gasp effort. You got to find some fun ways to score. I like to call this tray tight end, where you have 3 receivers out here, 1 tight end on the weak side. Running back was lined up on the tight end side. Now, you see here the running back, Hankerson, he's going to motion out. That's going to draw 13 with him to start. So now you got a whole lot of room on this bottom side of the screen for a play to develop. And then you see Shedeur, he starts looking at the wide side of the field, and that draws that middle linebacker. Middle linebacker sees Shedeur looking right, and then he immediately turns and runs, and then we got a screen on the back side, and you see Colorado's going to have their whole left side of the line, the left tackle, left guard, left center, all come out to block this screen. All Sanders has to do is drop it in the bucket to Mikey Harrison. That guy's got to dive for USC, because if not, he's going to get pancake blocked by those tackles coming out. Harrison's got too much room to run. Free touchdown. Got the big man Van Wells pulling out in front. Just a great play design in the red zone from. Now the next play we're going to take a look at here is just greatness from Shedeur Sanders and Omarion Miller. Obviously, it wouldn't be a recap of last week without talking about the freshman. 7 catches, 196 yards, and a touchdown. CU freshman record for receiving yards in a game. It was just awesome watching him go out there, take full advantage of this opportunity, and really show the world that he's here to play. So, again, another kind of last gasp effort, because you have to score on every possession here for the Buffs. 4th and 5 in the red zone. You need somebody to make a play. You got empty, and you look, Shador's going to look immediately to his right here, and then he's going to roll, makes a guy miss, and he's going to find Miller in the back of the end zone. Just great hands here. And now what this is, it's something that's huge, especially in the red zone when your quarterback is athletic as Sanders. It's called scramble drill. Now Miller, he's just running kind of, looks like a fade. He's just going to come here, break out, and look back for the ball. However, since Sanders starts not looking his way at all, he's going to have to make something happen, kind of improvise. You see he doesn't get the ball. He sees Sanders rolling right. Immediately go into scramble drill mode. And scramble drill is so hard for man coverage defenses to guard because it's totally improvised. You don't know where the offensive guy is going to go, and you're always going to be at least one step behind because it's just so hard to defend. Miller gets the step, puts his hand in the air. Sanders fires a rocket in there. Absolute perfect ball placement from him. If he puts that anywhere else, it's either a drop or that defender is going to tip it. Just a really awesome play from those two, and going forward, we're going to hopefully see that connection get together a lot more because, as we saw on Saturday, it's dangerous. And Amari Miller is a very good football player, and hopefully he's going to really bolster this offense. That's all the plays we got for today. I'm really excited to see how the Buffs really take what they learned in the second half of that game, what they did good, and translate it onto the field again Saturday at Arizona State in Tempe. It's going to be a hot one. Looks like around upper 90s for the temperature on Saturday, similar to that TCU game. So hopefully the heat doesn't seem to be too big of a factor. Now, where I'm interested in this game is the Buffs defense versus the Arizona State offense, because both rank very poorly in the country in terms of advanced metrics. Big one is EPA per pass play, EPA per rush play. What that means is expected points added. It's just a different way of showing how successful you are on running plays, passing plays. They're both pretty low ranked in the country. The Buffs defense is low ranked in EPA allowed. Arizona State offense is low ranked in EPA per their own play. Now another matchup is the Buffs passing offense versus the Arizona State passing defense. Buffs are 21st in EPA per pass play, according to the advanced metrics here from CFB Graphs. Arizona State defense is ranked 20th. So you see, those are the team's two biggest strong points. It's going to be really interesting to see who's able to move who can outsmart who. Maybe we'll get a big coaching war, see a little bit of a chess match going. Maybe we'll see another breakout star like a Marion Miller. A lot of big possibilities for this game. And it's going to be interesting to see which bad spot shines brightest and which bright spot outshines the other one between the two. Anyways, that's all we have for today. My name's Trent Finnegan with ScoBuff Sports. Thank you for watching.